Once, in a quiet little village nestled among tall mountains, there lived a young man named Marco, just 24 years old. Marco's heart was never at rest. His mind was constantly crowded with thoughts, endless streams of them, coming and going all day long. These thoughts left him uneasy, drained, and weary. He often felt sorrow over the past and carried deep worries about what might come in the future. Inside his head, it was as if a storm was always raging. He could not find calm, could not sleep peacefully, and had even forgotten the simple act of smiling. One day, Marco heard whispers about a distant village high in the hills. People spoke of an old, wise man who lived there. Long ago, this man had been a well-known psychologist in the city, helping countless people discover peace within their minds. But now, in his old age, he had left behind the noise and rush of city life, choosing instead to live in a small, serene village close to nature. From time to time, he still offered guidance to those who came seeking it. Hearing this, Marco felt a spark of curiosity and hope. Perhaps, he thought, this wise elder can teach me how to find peace. Determined, he set out on the journey. After many days of walking through rough and tiring paths, Marco finally reached the hilltop village. There, he saw a modest little house draped in green vines and plants. On its porch sat the old man, still and silent, his eyes closed, his face radiating calm. Marco stepped closer and spoke softly. "Grandfather, my mind is restless. I cannot stop the flood of thoughts. I long for peace in my heart. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, a gentle smile forming on his lips. "So you seek peace?" he said. "Come with me. I will give you a small task." He led Marco into his small yard. There, he filled a glass with water, so full that the surface trembled, ready to spill with the slightest movement. Handing the glass to Marco, he said, "Walk from here to the far edge of the village and return. But remember, not a single drop must be spilled." Marco was surprised by the request, but he wanted to succeed. He accepted the challenge, holding the glass with great care as he began to walk. The path was narrow and lively. People passed by, some strolling, others rushing. Shopkeepers called out to customers, and dogs barked in the distance. But Marco kept his gaze fixed only on the glass. Step by step, he moved slowly and steadily, careful not to let the water ripple over the edge. Villagers glanced at him curiously, but no one interrupted. They understood he was learning something important. At last, Marco returned to the old man. "Grandfather," he said with quiet pride, "I did it. Not a single drop was spilled." The old man nodded, smiling. "Good," he replied. "But tell me, did you notice the children playing by the roadside? Did you hear the dogs barking?" Marco blinked in surprise. "No," he admitted. "I saw and heard nothing. My attention was only on the glass." The old man's smile deepened. "That," he said gently, "is the secret. It has always been within you, though you did not realize it. When your mind stays in the present moment, there is no room for fear, no space for confusion, no flood of unnecessary thoughts. While you focused on the water, your mind became still. You were not grieving the past. You were not fearing the future." Slowly, Marco began to understand. This was the peace he had been searching for all along. Peace was not something to be hunted for in the outside world. It was already within him, waiting to be felt whenever he lived fully in the present. Bowing his head, Marco said softly, "Grandfather, now I see. If I wish to calm my mind, I must keep it here in this moment. That is when true peace comes." The old man smiled once more. The sun was sinking, its last golden light spilling across the ground. Birds wheeled in the sky, returning to their nests. Marco began the walk back home, but he was no longer the same restless young man who had arrived. Inside, he carried a quiet stillness, for now he knew how to steady the mind. If you enjoyed the story, Please give it a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales like this one. Thank you for staying with us. We'll meet again in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay well and stay peaceful.